If you like big news and you like big recruits, the Oklahoma Sooners today got extremely favorable news by numerous insiders across the industry to land a top 50 player and probably one of the best cornerbacks in the 2027 recruiting cycle. At one point, the kid actually was a 5-star. He slipped due to injury, but the Oklahoma Sooners now look like the favorites to land him, along with several other predictions for flips in the 2026 cycle. So, of course, we're going to break it down for you. We're going to talk about it today. Before we do, as always, I want to hear from y'all. So join the discussion and let me know what your thoughts are. Can the Oklahoma Sooners flip any of these targets? If you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit the subscribe button. We're constantly talking about Oklahoma football and recruiting. Would love to have you be a part of the channel over here. But as the Oklahoma Sooners are hosting the next 2 home games over the rest of their season, they're going to be having some big-time targets in Norman. Probably not as many for the Missouri game as the LSU game. But, man, that LSU visitor list, it's absolutely loaded. And we're going to try to get you guys a full visitor list for that LSU game during that week. So make sure you stay tuned there. But one of the guys that they're going to have on campus is a top 50 player in the 247 composite rankings. At one point, he was a 5-star. But like I said, he did get injured. And he kind of slipped a little bit. But I'm talking about Juju Johnson. Now, this name might be familiar because you've seen him a little bit on Twitter. He's very interactive. But 5'11", 170 pounds. Again, like we said yesterday, it's another Stacy Ford special. If you don't know who Stacy Ford is, go give him a follow on social media. This man has cleaned up for the Oklahoma Sooners and really helped them go out there and do what Lincoln Riley hasn't been able to do in California and go up and lock up some of the best talent in that state. Yeah, we calling Lincoln Riley out because we're excited for him to potentially visit Norman again. But that's a conversation for another day. So Juju Johnson, 5'11", 170 pounds, Long Beach Poly High School out of Long Beach, California, the 46th player according to the 247 composite rankings as the number 7 cornerback in the entire country. He has a total of 19 offers from pretty much the who's who of college football. You've got Michigan in there. You've got Alabama. You've got Oregon. You've got Arizona. You've got Colorado, Florida State, Georgia, Miami, Penn State, Tennessee, Texas, USC, Utah. So again, the who's who of college football wants this kid on their squad. And you've seen predictions from the likes of Greg Biggins, who I'm sharing right here on the screen, Adam Gorney. You had Max Torres, who is an Oregon publisher for one of the Oregon sites. You also had Brian Munson, who is a Nebraska contributor for one of the Nebraska sites. So what do we always say when we look at predictions? When you see predictions coming from other team sites, that generally is a good indication that the prediction is going to fall in favor of your school. So Greg Biggins over at 247, well, he's not at 247 anymore, had this to say: Johnson is one of the most versatile athletes in the 27 class. He could play corner, safety, or receiver at the college level. Be interesting. Corner, safety. Maybe Oklahoma's got something in line there. And has a legit high major college prospect at all 3 spots. He's a twitchy athlete who has been both short area quickness and top end speed and always comes up with high complete level toughness, which is one of the things you notice when you watch his film, his ability to stick to the wide receiver. You see him be able to use that length and reach to be able to create pass breakups. In 2024, he had 43 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 3 pass breakups, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception. That's going to play. And he's a 2-sport athlete. He's a track athlete, which is why you see that track speed. But, you know, he unofficial visited to Nebraska on September 20th, is going to be at the LSU game and has a commitment date currently set up for the December 1st. So we'll see what Oklahoma can do there. Can they land Juju Johnson in the 2027 cycle? That would be their 3rd commit at the quarterback position and would be a really, really big one. So, all right, let's get into the flips, guys. This is where we're going to have a lot of fun. And we're going to start at the running back position today with Messiah Mickens, who, you guys have been watching the podcast, you guys know I really like Oklahoma to flip Messiah Mickens. One of the guys that he was really involved with at Penn State, Jashir Rogers, is now a part of the Oklahoma Sooners class, and he's the 209th running back ranked player in the 247 composite ranking, the 14th running back in the entire country out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Just to be able to see Oklahoma extend their reach up into the Northeast like they have been so far and to land a couple of big time talent guys out of there, I think that's huge. Obviously, I'm also watching what James Franklin's going to do at Virginia Tech. Does he start to hit up a guy like Messiah Mickens or some of these other guys at Penn State that are committed and try to get them to flip to Virginia Tech over the next couple of weeks? That's intriguing, but definitely a guy that is going to be a high-level producer at the college level. You've seen him, what he's been able to do in high school, 396 total carries, 3,253 yards in his career, 54 total touchdowns, 46 receptions for 608 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Just a complete versatile back all the way around with the great acceleration and deaccelerator, great speed, which you can see that with his track background. Love what any school is going to get with Messiah Mickens. And I do believe the Oklahoma Sooners, based off the intel that's been given and the conversations that have been had, that the Oklahoma Sooners are going to be able to land his commitment. He's going to OV for the LSU game. All right. Next on the list, one that everybody's been waiting for. We've all been waiting for it. Jaden Pettit, the 6'4", 196-pound wide receiver out of St. John Newman High School in Naples, Florida. Steve Wiltfong, the godfather of recruiting predictions, has put one in favor of Oklahoma to flip the Wisconsin wide receiver target. Obviously, this one felt a little weird when he first initially committed to Wisconsin because, hey, what was going to happen with Luke Fickell? Like, is this guy actually going to be able to keep his job? What's he selling to recruits out there? The offense isn't great. Jaden Pettit is the 167th player in the 247 composite ranking. So he would be another great addition for Oklahoma. 33 total offers. You've got North Carolina, Missouri have been pushing for his recruitment. But Oklahoma's kind of been the constant here. This would be a great win for Emmett Jones. Those of you who pick up on that will pick up on that. Great win for Emmett Jones and Ben Arbuckle here if they're able to actually flip Jaden Pettit. But this has kind of been one where the belief has been that he's going to flip for quite a while now. And the question has kind of been like, dude, like, when's this actually going to happen? Wisconsin has had a lot of guys, and you saw a decommitment today. That could potentially start the chain, right? It could make him feel a little bit more comfortable with doing that. And the Oklahoma Sooners are pushing harder than ever. They want a guy like Jaden Pettit with his size and his athletic ability in this class. So would be really awesome to see Jaden Pettit flip from Wisconsin to Oklahoma. All right. That's where we're at today. Some big time news in terms of predictions of guys that you could flip and guys that you could land on the recruiting trail. So join the discussion. Let me know what you guys think. Who wins the game this weekend, Oklahoma or Missouri? We're going to have a game preview for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll see you all next time. Boomer.